Today we are dwelling into the profound benefits of reading sacred texts. So let us introduce our speaker today, Ramachiranjeevi Prabhu. He is my well-known friend and he is very enthusiastic and is supporting to me that he came. He's my first guest today, so everyone welcome him. Today's highlight will be that we will be discussing about the significance of the text in various spiritual traditions. This is a spiritual channel. We don't think about only one religion kind of thing. Wherever there are traditions, wherever people are getting enlightened, we'll consider all those. Let's start the topic. Here we will be having some question and answers, which will cover most of the things that are related with the topic. Let's go to the segment 1. It's related to personal and spiritual growth. So here the first question, Prabhu. How do sacred texts contribute to personal and spiritual growth? Can you just elaborate on it, Prabhu?
Whenever we say about sacred text, it also involves sacred text of all the religions, Bhagavad Gita, Quran, Bible, anything. So I am a person who is greatly inspired from Bhagavad Gita. So based on my experience, the benefit, the impact the sacred text is creating to you in personal and professional or spiritual ways, it gives lot of guidance and wisdom. That is the first thing. And the second, most importantly, you develop a reading habit where you read every day, fixed amount of time, fixed amount of text, and those things. And once reading happens, it is not going to stop with that. When you read, unconsciously, your mind will keep reflecting on those things. Whenever you find a similar kind of situation in your life, then your mind will connect to the reading text information and the situation that is happening in front of your eyes. So because of that, you become matured, and without your specific efforts, you become matured in your life. And it also makes you grounded to the cultural identity, and it gives a great emotional support. That many of the monks, they say that our best companion in the life is Bhagavad Gita. Even founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada himself told, the one book if I want throughout my life means that book will be Bhagavad Gita as it is. And apart from that, it also gives you a community connection. Like whenever you read any sacred text, you make some notes, you will have an hankering to share that information to your community people. In that way, you also develop a deep connection with your community as well. So finally, I would say it is a great transformation text, and it will not only transform one segment of your life, either spiritual or personal or professional. It will give you an overall transformation.
Oh, very nicely explained. I learned this from my teacher that you read something that you forget easily. That's why you have them in the text format, so that you can revise it and remember it again. So the most important things are been in the written format. It was told by my teacher that so the most important things are always, if you try to read them, you remember. When you remember, then you can apply. So very nicely explained. Thank you so much. So shall we go to the next one?
Yes.
So the next segment is understanding higher truth. So, what are some of the higher truths or divine principles we can learn from the sacred text?
Based on my experience of reading, so what I observed is the compassion. So now what is lacking in the current generation is the compassion. So by reading higher text, what happens is you get to know how the sages, how the Lord has shown compassion towards his devotees, towards his friends, towards his other extended family members, how the people in the Vedic life, they have shown compassion to other living beings, how they started helping. There are some stories in the Bhagavatam where the sages have sacrificed their spinal cord for the benefit of the world, for the benefit of for protecting the pious families. So the first principle which I learned is the compassion towards other living entities, and the second thing is love. So ultimately, that is going to transform the person, that is going to make a person connected is love. With love, you can always win that person. The third important thing is forgiveness. So it is said that if you hold any grudge when you have fight with anyone, you are holding a poison. If you forgive that person, nectar comes towards you. If you forgive, the nectar comes to you. So forgiveness is a very important quality in this day and age. The fourth, the more you follow the integrity principles, the more you see the results in your. When you follow the life of integrity, the society will respect you, the family will respect you, the community will respect you. That is what you learn by reading sacred scriptures. And the fifth one is about humility. So the humility is a very important quality. So you might be aware or not, I'm not sure. There is one book called As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. The book is really inspiring. And it is a must-read book. So the book is completely surrounded with the energy of a thought. How thought is going to transform you. So in the final chapter of the thought is dedicated to humility. Everyone likes a person, everyone likes to be with a person who is having a quality of humility, who is sober in nature, who is soft in dealings. So all these qualities will get developed when you start reading sacred texts. So these are the
Thank you
five
so
things
much.
which I feel inspiring for
Can you
me.
just tell about compassion, love,
Love,
forgiveness, humility, and one more? What is that?
integrity.
Integrity. Wow, so nicely you have explained. I think if I take the first letters, what is it? Compassion C, love CL, and forgiveness CLF, and humility H, and I. CLFHI. Oh, it's a company name. So
Yeah,
nicely explained, bro.
correct.
Thank you, sir. So let's move to the next segment, third segment. Since we
Yes.
learned some theory part or something like this, which has a profound impact on our life. So can you just tell me the practical application in daily? How can you practically apply the teachings of the sacred text in our daily?
The first and foremost thing is the food habits. The Bhagavad Gita says about various kinds of food and also effects. Like if you eat a food which is in Sattva Gunam, whatever, how you are going to be. If you eat the food in Rajoguna type, how you are going to be. If you eat food in the mode of ignorance, how you are going to be. So the first thing is the food, the choice of the food. That is the one which is created a lot of impact on me. And the second thing is the habits. The Nidra Ahara Viharasya. Bhagavad Gita, there is one sloka on this. So in Bhagavad Gita it is said that the Nidra should not be so much or should not be too less. The food intake should not be so much, it should not be too less. Vihara, entertainment, should not be so much or it should not be too less. You have to balance your work, you have to balance your sleep, you have to balance your entertainment. So this balance is what which I am able to apply in my real life. And as the main important things comes to be the forgiveness. So every person will have some or other conflict or different opinion or different principles that varies from person to person. Even though you have those things, you learn to cooperate with that person, you learn to forgive if there is anything that he has harmed you. So that is the forgiveness is the thing that I learned. And also gratitude. So now gratitude plays a very important role in all parts of all segments of your life, either it is professional, spiritual or personal. So the more gratitude you are, the more you build a relationship with your mentor, with your spiritual friend, or with your family members. So gratitude is very important. So that gratitude I have learned. And living by the ethical principles, that is the next thing. So ethics, now when we say ethical principle, what are how you have to apply all those things, Bhagavad Gita will teach you. Bhagavad Gita will tell you this is the ethics, this is the principle you have to follow. So I started applying those things.
Yes, thank you so much for this forgiveness aspect which you brought it out. I see that it is common in every religion. Like in Islam, it is there that if a person commits mistake 7 times, he's been already forgiven. So we can see that in our tradition also, there is Haridas Thakur, who even forgives the person who were trying to kill him by beating him in the 21 marketplaces. So this forgiveness principle, I think we can apply that in our life. And gratefulness. I think there is one quote. Only people who are grateful are really great. Something like that I heard somewhere. So that means gratitude you can. So nowadays there is a gratitude journals that are coming. So just, if you follow the sacred text, automatically your life will have all the things that are required in our life. There is no need of further going to the maintaining a gratitude journal. You'll follow it. I hope that is how they help. They say it. So thank you so much, Prabhu, for the segment 3. practical application in daily life. Let's go to segment 4, community and cultural impact. In what ways do the sacred texts shape communities and culture?
Yeah, when we say the community and culture, one of the main aspects that I remember is a community will not be standing on a pillars of money, greed, lust, or business benefits, business transaction. Community will be built purely on loving relationships. Now, how the sacred text will develop community with a loving relationship is when we share whatever we have learned, whatever the principles we learned from Bhagavad Gita. When we start sharing with our community members, they also will change. You yourself will transform, and you will also transform the people who are in the community. So the mutual transformation happens because of the sacred text. So in that way, a very ambience and a cognizant community will be built, and the culture also develops because as the whole community is following the same book Bhagavad Gita as it is, so that the community, the culture will be automatically built throughout the community.
Cultural aspect is like the one which they master in a particular aspect, that's called cultural thing. Someone is dancing very nicely and everyone wants to do. They mastered it and it has a significant impact on the many people who come and see that particular art. So we try to build a community. So I think that's the 4 segments. We'll just quickly revise what are the 4 segments we have seen. The first one we have seen is personal and spiritual growth. How the sacred text contribute to personal and spiritual growth, as you mentioned, the habits and what are deep impacts that it can happen to a particular person when following the sacred text, that we remember the important things. Second one, understanding higher truths, how the higher truths, divine principles we apply. So you gave a very nice acronym for that. So you mentioned about compassion, love, forgiveness, humility, integrity. So nicely explained, and the practical applications also. You mentioned about how to apply, how to practice gratitude, how to practice forgiveness. Yes, on the community, last one you have mentioned community cultural impact, how it is impacting everyone, not only you, but bringing together many people.